Hey guys, welcome to Matt's Great Podcast. I'm Dave. This is Matt.
Hey
we're
guys.
going to be here. We're actually going to compare our top 5 Glocks this time.
Glocks?
Yeah, it's going to be Glocks.
I brought H&Ks. Oh crap!
I think I brought the Yeet cannons this time.
Oh,
Well, we're gonna have to make. Well, we'll see what happens.
that's it. It's over.
Yeah. Thank God for CGI. We'll make it work.
Okay.
So Matt has a list of 5 Glocks. I brought 1, 2, 3, 4. I brought a couple of Glocks, more than 5, but the thing is, we haven't even talked about this. We haven't compared notes. We're not on the, we didn't like prep this.
No.
So that's pretty cool. But we're going to talk about why we ranked ours maybe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and why. And then
We're gonna let you guys decide in the comments who won, who lost, which Glocks you like, which you don't. Do you agree with our choices? Why or why not? Hey, where'd Ed go?
Ed's not here today.
We did ask him to be here, right?
I know.
But then I guess he heard about Glocks and only Glocks, and he said he was busy with some sort of logistics.
Claimed he had glaucoma. I don't know.
Freaking
Something.
logistics, guys. What the heck?
Logistics.
All right, so let's get into this with or without
Yeah.
Ed.
Without Ed, no
Whatever.
worries. He'll be here in spirit.
That's right.
All right. So I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're starting
why don't
number 5?
Yeah, let's start with number 5.
All right. My number 5 would be kind of 2 Glocks, but they're pretty much very similar. The Glock 19X/45.
Okay.
It was Glock's first move away from doing the straight up 17-19. They tried to mismatch them. The 19X, of course, was the military trials gun. And
Right.
so it had some features like the lanyard loop and things like that the military wanted. And it was an interesting gun. And the thing is, I like about both of them is they shoot very well. They feel really good in the hand. Kind of like, not like a 17 or a 19, even though it's a mixed match of the two. But yeah, so the 45 is the same thing, deleting some of those military requests. And not in Coyote Tan in black.
No.
So
Everybody
yeah.
wants to go there, right?
But they're both pretty similar and a pretty neat gun.
I think the good thing about what they did with that is they tried to blend it, so they took a little bit of weight off the slide,
Yeah.
and they kept that little bit bigger grip so that it just fit the hand better.
Yep.
So you get those medium size, large size hands.
Full size grip.
Exactly.
Except it was exactly the opposite of what most people had asked for, which was 19 grip with a 17 slide. But
Yeah.
we'll touch on that later.
We may get to that one. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
So my number 5, I don't know how we actually going to rank them. Like if we had to buy one, this would be our 5th choice.
Well, obviously, you did buy them.
Well, I only have a couple. Come on.
Okay.
I only have a couple. So if I went with, I can go back in some. We'll go in some history.
Okay.
Try that.
History.
When I did it, my first experience with Glock was the Model 17 when I did the armed security work at the nuke plant where you were.
Same here.
And my initial thought was these things are like rectangular bar stock with a handle on it. They were ugly. But then when we started training with it and shooting it, I realized, you know what? There's something to this. What I did is I went out and bought my own. I got myself a generation. It's like a 1.5. It's not really a 2, but kind of a 1.5. Bought this, and I ended up doing a lot of training with it and a lot of practice with it. And then for a while there, I had a job where I was doing some product testing. So they gave me the chance to use my gun or their gun, and their gun, it was always busy. It was always in the engineering department. So I just said, I'm going to use mine. And they told me, well, if you break it, we'll replace it. We'll fix it. No big deal. So I shot the snot out of this gun.
Yeah.
So much that, embarrassingly so, but hilariously so, during a SIG-hosted class, I broke the slide, and it cracked right under the ejection port. And the cool thing was, Glock replaced it.
Yep.
They said, that should have lasted a lot longer. They asked me how many rounds I estimated, and I might have lowballed it. But I've since retired this gun, although I'd carry it today. But I'd said, you know what? This thing is earned.
Pre-finger grooves, yep.
Pre-finger grooves, everything. It's smooth front. It's just got the checkers. But you can tell, like, the slide. Look at the.
It's like
polished.
It's like polished and burnished.
It had a lot of hand on it, right?
Yes.
And you can tell where my thumb rode all the time. You can even see the marks where my thumb was riding the slide a little bit. So, this thing's got some sentimental value.
Good old 17.
But it's earned its place in my safe as a safe queen for a while.
You mentioned the nuke plant. Funny part is I was a SIG guy. I was carrying a SIG when I started there, and we were issued the Glock 17s. And then after 15 years of carrying a Glock, it's hard to get away from them. Yeah.
But if I had to go and rank, let's say we do, okay, number 5 is, I'll go this way. Number 5 would be like, if I had to decide which guns to buy, the first go-to gun versus the fifth, I think the fifth go-to gun would be the 43.
Okay.
I think the 43, even though it's very concealable, my hand doesn't fit it well.
Okay.
And I've got to get the extended mag, or I've just got to really clamp down on it.
Yeah, there's not many people that fit their hand well.
Right. But I would say, for when we run, this is the gun that gets thrown into the holster. Or if I really got to go very discreet, this one goes on. But it's kind of an afterthought. So that's my number 5.
Yeah, that gun wouldn't be on any of my lists. I do have an honorable mention. Remind me that kind of plays into that later on, so we'll talk about that.
But the 43 was Glock's entry into the slimline stuff. They've got the sister with the 42 with the 380, but honestly, kind of not that much smaller than this.
Without their gun, there wouldn't be SIG 365s either. That's the popularity of that gun that launched that. So yeah.
So the Mini 9 race really got going.
Number 5.
And this, it fills the bill, but to me, I've got a different gun, which I'll talk about later, which is my primary. Okay, guys, so that was our number 5 choice. Yep. So what we need to hear from you is, what do you think about Matt's choice versus my choice?
19X, 45.
19X,
versus
45, yep. Versus my super ultra really small 6-round Glock 43.
I got this one.
Okay. All right, so our number 4 pick.
What do you got?
Right. What do I got? Well, again, if I go like in reverse chronological order, my first one was that 17.
Okay.
And, but then I said, well, the number 5 Glock I would buy would be, the 43.
Okay.
So they're all Glocks. It's hard to choose, right?
We can't really go wrong.
So I'm just going to say, like, the next gun I got involved with was we'll call it a Generation 2 Model 19. I stuck with all 9mm, so I'll probably say that again. But, they're all 9mm. And, this one's got some distinct features to it. I had the slide treated.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was that NP3 that was all the rage for a while. And it actually has held up pretty well. I got it done for free, and I was skeptical. But, this thing really became durable. But I chose this gun because it was the compact version of the original Glock I bought. I wanted something a little more carryable.
Yep.
I was starting to go inside the waistband, so I said, you know what? Let me shrink it a little bit and see what happens. And this is what I ended up with. And just like the first one, you can tell, I don't know if it comes across on the camera, but you can tell that backstrap is really shiny. Okay.
It's been carried a little
bit. And that's because it's been used a lot. It's been shot a lot. Not as much as that original gun, but this thing has been put through its paces. And, I put the Trijicon night sights on it because I wanted something that glowed in the dark if I need it.
Right.
And, this thing it's been used. It's still got the plastic recoil spring in there. Yeah. Not the original. I have changed it out. But, the other thing I put on there was a little extended bump for the slide release, because my thumb just about catches it, but I wanted to get a little more positive grab on it. And this thing made a lot of difference in the world. So that was kind of what I did to this one. But other than that, there aren't many modifications.
You got to have a Glock 19 on your list, I think. If we're talking Glocks, you have to have a 19.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I would agree.
What's your number 4?
So mine's a little bit different than yours for number 4. It's a Glock I don't actually own, but I want. On my very short list to buy, as a matter of fact, I got Glock certificate. I'm probably going to go use for one.
Does it look any different than these?
Look, not really. But it's a kind of the bigger brother. It is the Glock 20. In particular, the 20F SF, which is the slim frame model.
Yep.
That is chambered in 10mm. I've wanted one of those. Everyone, I think, who's into handgun should have a 10mm. And we do a lot of camping and stuff in the outdoors and going out west. It would be a good gun for that. So I really do want the Glock 20. I particularly want the 20 because it's full size. It's a full size gun in a big chambering. So you got more gun to handle that recoil and absorb a little bit of that recoil. I've also shot the 29, which I don't know why it exists. Very hard gun to shoot.
Yeah, that's a little small for that package.
A little small for a 10 mil.
Yeah.
But yeah, Glock 20 SF, 10 millimeter, definitely on my short list of guns of Glocks, I should say, that I want to own.
So I have shot that one, and I'll tell you, that was probably the smoothest 10 millimeter gun I ever handled, because they had, at the time, I think there were 3, the Delta Elite.
Yeah, the Delta Elite.
And then the Glock, and I forgot the other one. There was another one. Oh, it was the Desert Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
The IWI Desert Eagle. That thing, those things were all chambered in 10, and I'll tell you, the Desert Eagle beat my hand up.
Yeah.
The Delta Elite was really nice.
It's a nice gun, but
it's a heavy gun.
And recoil is rough
I think
on
the gun weighed like 6 pounds.
Yeah.
And then, but that handled the recoil really well. But then the Glock, because of the way the polymer acts and the way it was
just
set up,
absorbs it.
it absorbed it, and it was actually, it felt smoother and softer.
I've shot the Delta Elite and the Glock 20 side by side, and 20's much easier to handle than the Delta. Delta's a great gun, nothing wrong with it, but in 10, I'd rather have the Glock.
That is a Glock. I don't.
And if you're going to use it outdoors, it's a lot more weather resistant.
Yeah.
Than the Deltas tend to rust a little bit. So
I got a couple certificates.
yeah.
You might convince me.
Cool.
All right. Well, that was round 4, the number 4. Right?
Number 4, yeah.
So, guys, what do you think? Matt's wish list Glock 20 versus the already really loved and used and really, shiny at the top.
Venerable.
The venerable, yeah.
Venerable.
This one, again, has earned its place in my personal history because of all the training and carrying I've done. Yeah. But what do you guys think? Okay,
yeah.
The 20 and 10 millimeter, not a bad one, or the 9 millimeter in the Glock 19.
Guys,
you tell us
I
what
don't
you
think
think.
he ranked it high enough. See, that's the thing. Just why?
Well, it's because I got more options that I'm like, I'm going to stack them around. Okay. All right, here we go. Number 3. Matt, you got to go first on this one. What's your number 3?
It's brand new. It's a brand new Glock.
I'm guessing it's the one that I want to get to.
Sort of.
I already know where you're going with
this. Really,
no
no such thing. It's actually just another mixed match gun that people have been asking for forever, and that is now the Glock 49. What is a Glock 49? It's really a Glock 19 with a Glock 17 slide. So it's that shorter grip with a longer slide. Makes a lot of sense for concealed carry. You're getting a longer barrel, longer sight radius.
Yeah, so you end up with this.
Yep. Frame with
you get that slide, so you end up
with a slightly different dust cover and stuff.
That length gun.
Yes.
But a shorter grip.
Yep. It's interesting, though, because they're using a 19 guide rod and spring because they shorten the dust cover. So
interesting.
Yeah, so you can literally swap slides of different 19s and 17s onto it.
So you can almost have your 19 and then you have your 17 when you want it.
Exactly, you could do that. Okay. It is a Gen 5. It is a 9 millimeter, which I think is the right caliber, especially for concealed carry. So is it a compact? It's a compact full size.
But like you said, and I agree, it's something we've been asking for a while.
The public, the Glock fans certainly have been asking for that gun for years and years.
I wonder why they didn't call it like the 19L. Because they had the 17L.
19 long slide, exactly.
They had the 17L.
There were guys making those
34.
But 19Ls, but there never existed a factory version. So 49, that's my choice.
I should have brought that one. I got a 17L that I picked up by accident, in a way.
We're gonna have to do a video of obscure Glocks.
The obscure Glocks that we come up with.
You have some.
So on my list is, you're never going to guess this. This is going to be a total shock. Another Glock 19.
What?
Yeah. You know why?
How can you have two Glock 19 on the list?
This Glock, so I carried this one for a while. I carried the Generation 2. And then, actually, I did have a Generation 3, but I didn't carry it too long because I held on to that Generation 2 for so long that when I went into the Generation 3, I was like, okay, that's nice. And then very quickly, the 4 and the 5 came out. And within months of them coming out with the Generation 5 Glock 19,
that's a non-MOS though, right?
But it's the non-MOS. Okay. Yeah, that was the first one I get into because I didn't have the opportunity to grab an MOS gun before I could put an optic on it.
Right.
So I carried this thing for a couple of years. And you can tell it's not as burnished, but it's been worked. I put on some Trigicon HD sights, which nice orange dot on the front, which you pick up really well. Great for combat type shooting or speed shooting. The drawback to these is not very great for precision type stuff when you're in mid distance. It's because of the really big notch in the back and the really big front sight. So you lose a little bit on the combat side, not the accuracy side for precision shooting. But this gun here, I did a bunch of training with, did a bunch of holster work, as you can probably see on the frame. But it's, I liked it because it added the integral magwell, little flares here. It came ambidextrous, which helped me when I was doing offhand training. And I did take it off and put it on one of my other guns, but I was able to get the extended slide release as well. All the tricked out stuff that I needed for my gun. I kept the stock trigger. I might have tuned it a slight bit just to clean it up a little bit, but I kept the stock trigger, and I just made it work for me, and it worked well for a while until I was able to get my next carry gun. So in a way, we're kind of working through my evolution in my carry guns. All right, guys, we need your comments. So Matt's 43X versus my second evolution into Glocks for the 19, where I went into the
19. Come on.
It might be, okay? And so you guys tell us what you think. You might discover something. Maybe you have some thoughts on why you would want to choose one gun or the other. And let's keep going into the next one. What was yours? Come on, give up yours.
My number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually one that I own. It's kind of two that I own. So it's the Glock 43X, particularly the X model. I've never been a fan of the 43. I feel like it's too small, even with the extended mag. The recoil, I think, is pretty stiff for most people. Just never been a fan of the 43. However, when the 43X came out, which this is the X, this is my X, 43X.
So this one. See?
Look, it's like
I was able to
Legos.
make it.
Oh my god, it's like Legos.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
I bought this gun. Actually, I shot this gun. A friend of mine had it, and I really, really liked it. I liked the way it felt when I was holding it. I liked the way it shot. This I felt was almost like that Grail gun, the perfect size for carry, the perfect size to shoot.
Yep.
And I grabbed one immediately. And the only thing I've done to this gun is it's got a set of Hackathorn sights, which has the orange front, big, glowing front, and all black rear sight, which I've really come to like.
It's almost a necessity.
It's not distracting for my eyes now, and the orange up front really draws your eye in. Mm-hmm. I've shot the snot out of this gun. I shoot this almost as well as a 19, which is a bigger gun,
Right.
but it's just a great little gun. If you were looking for one gun for concealed carry, one Glock for concealed carry, let's put it that way, this is probably the one I recommend, to the point that I just bought a 43X MOS with a red dot, and
There you go. The next
I'm
step.
literally carrying that right now. So
the next step.
this
Good
one's
job.
kind of
Good
a
job.
holding place, but yeah, 43X. But I would go MOS today if you were going to buy one. It's just a great little gun. I swear I've probably sold 100 of these to people just by suggesting that they go buy
like
one.
we should have stock in Glock
We
or
should have
something.
stock in Glock, yes. But I've gotten people to buy a lot of these.
So the biggest advantage I can see in the 43X, as you guys saw me, I just took my 48 and my 43 and put it together to make
Yep.
a 43X, right? But capacity.
And magazine
Huge.
compatibility, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
10 rounds. If you live in a free state, you can get the
You get the
free.
extenders?
We can get the 15 round mags for them. So yeah.
So that was a big draw factor for the 48.
That's a big
and
difference.
the 43X because you get a 10 round mag
10
instead of a
round
6 round mag.
So 10 plus 1 and 43X.
Yeah,
In
that'll
a
work.
pretty small package.
Pretty small package. Yeah, it's amazing how they were able to fit 10 rounds in there. It's almost like they looked at another company that's been around for a while and figured out how to do a small stagger stack to get 10 rounds in a smaller grip.
Why couldn't the Yeet figure that out? Oh wait, no, another time.
Another time. All right. So you got yours out of the way. Here's mine. You're gonna think this is like way off the rails. You're not gonna believe this. Guess what?
What?
Another Glock 19.
Oh my god.
And here's why.
I love Glock 19s, but holy cow.
Well, I like them more apparently.
Apparently.
All right. So this one again is the next evolution because I got the Gen 5 with the optic on it. I kind of talked about it earlier. So I kept the standard stock sights because, reasons. And what I did is I put a nice holosun on top of it. And I like running this one. This to me is like, right now for me, the gun I want to carry. Because it's got everything I want. I'm so used to the Model 19 platform.
Nothing you don't.
And I've got the hollow sun on there, which I can really pick up and I can see really well. I've got it all set up. I've got the extended bump on the slide release so I can access it well. And I did just a tiny bit of work on the trigger, and I made it just a little smoother so there's a little less catch in it. All right. I'm pretty sure I didn't change the poundage. I just made it more efficient.
Okay.
Right. But this one I've been doing a lot of training with lately, and now that with a couple events coming up, I'm really going to be doing some training on it. And you can tell like this is maybe what I think I got this up just about a year ago.
Okay.
Just about a year ago. So I haven't really worked it hard, but it's still, I already trust the platform. I trust the model. I trust the size. And it's just a natural segue from, the Generation 2 into the Generation 3, then the 4, and then the 5 without the MOS. And then now we just add the MOS, and now we're here. Now, who knows what else I'll get into? Maybe it'll be another Glock 19. Depends on what they come out with Generation 6 in a few years.
Generation 6.
All right. So
Glock 19.
that's that one. Another
right.
Glock 19. Go figure.
Number 2, Glock 19. So
Right.
wait, 4, 3, and 2.
Yeah.
Glock 19. Got it.
There we go. So, guys, again, Matt's gun. What was yours?
43X.
The 43X
MOS. Yeah.
with the MOS. Yes, that's coming
That doesn't
along.
have it, but the MOS.
And then the Glock 19 Generation 5. Again, these are all in 9mm because
also MOS now because you've got
now
that.
it's the MOS.
There's a pattern here. I think we'll follow that.
Like
through.
an improvement pattern. Who knows what I'll put on this thing next?
Right. Okay.
You never know.
Cool.
All right. So, guys, let's hear from you about what you think about our choices on this one.
Tell us in the comments.
All right, so we're almost to the end of this. All right, we got a couple things more to do, but I think we should stop here. And I've got one I'd like to add that wasn't really in the category, but I think you mentioned you might have something.
I said earlier on I had an honorable mention.
Honorable mention. That's right. What is it?
Well,
Tell
let me
us
borrow
about it.
this because this will help me explain.
Okay.
So I said I really don't like this gun. It's hard to shoot. It's a little bit small for a 9mm.
We can agree on it.
However, my honorable mention is its little brother, which is almost identical. It's almost identical twin, except a little tinier.
Yep.
The Glock 42. So the Glock 42 is this size gun. It's actually just a tiny bit smaller when you look at the specs.
Yeah.
In 380.
380.
And I'm not a real fan of 380 either, but you said like your running gun, your gym gun, the hideout backup gun. I think the 42 fills that role very well, and it's a super easy gun to shoot.
Well, there is that.
The recoil is very minimal, especially compared to this.
Right.
Oddly enough. So, yeah, my honorable mention is a 42. Again, that's on my short list of guns, of Glocks I want to buy, not guns.
There you
Glocks
go.
I want to buy. So, yeah, that's it. What do you got?
So mine, I'm actually going to change my category a little bit. I'm going to call it the one that got away.
Okay.
One that got away.
Interesting.
Yep. And I had a chance. Yeah, exactly. The line broke, took off with it. So I showed you guys, I had my first Glock 17, okay, which it's kind of a 1.5 Generation 2.
Right.
Okay? But a few years ago, I had a chance. I looked at it and I hesitated. And
I know where you're going.
And I had a chance. I was looking right at a original, not one of the duplicates and the repros that's out there now. Original Generation 1 Glock 17. Okay?
Yep.
The price was reasonable. I don't even know. I can't even tell you why I hesitated. But I'm like,
You said something about I don't need like another Glock 17 at the time, if I remember correctly.
But, then I have like 6 Glock 19s. But I looked at it, and it wasn't shot that much. Maybe 1,000 rounds through it.
Right.
Maybe 1,000 rounds. I was looking at where the peening marks are on the slide. The top of the barrel had a little bit of wear, but not a lot. Okay. And I looked at it, and for the price, I was thinking, I don't know. And I went back the next day, I'm like, I'm going to go buy this thing. And some guy came in about an hour before me and paid for it. And I almost wanted to get into a bidding war, but I don't want to be that guy. So I'll call that the one that got away.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
If I ever find another original Generation 1 that doesn't look like it's been, run through a couple washers and tossed out of a helicopter, I'll probably grab it. Because
I know where there's one. I've been trying to get a guy to sell it to me
I know. We
for
both know
15
him,
years,
too.
right? Yeah.
I think we're going to have to go
He's
time
never
down
going
and
to
beat him up or something.
He's never going to let it go.
I think that one is going to be buried in the coffin.
I think so.
So that's mine. You had your honorable mention.
Yep.
Mine's the one that got away.
That's cool.
You know, that's to me, it's like a little history in that. The Generation 1, the original model, would be pretty cool to have.
Cool.
Guys, here we are. Last gun choice.
Last one on your Glock list.
At least a Glock list, exactly. I'm kind of eyeballing a couple other guns right now, but then our Glock. Shh, don't tell anybody.
What? Cheating on Glocks.
I know. Don't tell Steve. All right, so my number 5.
Your number one of 5.
Well, yeah, okay. Number one. Number one. I'm reversing my scale on myself. So we'll put that in the outtakes. Here's we're lucky Ed's not here. He'd be laughing at us.
He'd be killing us right now.
Yeah, he'd be like, "What am I getting involved with?"
Ed, come back.
So my number 1 gun. Bet you can't guess what it's going to be.
Is it a Glock? Oh wait, no, not another Glock.
Oh no. Okay, it's going to be this one, the 34, the long slide 9mm. And you know why? Because, well, you can still conceal it. It's just a little more uncomfortable, especially when you're carrying appendix inside the waistband.
Yeah, no.
It's really hard to bend over with that one. But this one, I tell you, it just runs so well. I love shooting this gun.
That's a sweet gun.
This thing is as stock as it came, except for the Bushnell sight that I threw on there. I was lucky enough a couple years ago to watch one get tortured on the range. That was a lot of fun. And it really impressed me for the price point and for the manufacturer. It was like, all right, that thing took some abuse. It was dropped. It was thrown. It got the heck shot out of it. So that was pretty cool. But I've wanted a long slide for a while, and I had a chance to buy one, so I did. I got one. And interestingly enough, right about the same time, I ran into a friend of mine who didn't even care that he had it. We were just talking about guns, and he had a 17L, which is another half-inch longer or so than this one. And I just jokingly,
looks ridiculous.
It just looks like I've got a battleship out in front of me.
Yeah.
But I jokingly asked him if he'd be willing to sell it, and he goes, "I don't know, what would you offer for it?" And I
You could
told
have
him,
brought that 17L to replace one of those Glock 19s on this list. Come on.
"Yeah, maybe,
Really?
maybe." But it's just I gave him a number, and he goes, "Sold." I'm like, "I can't believe you took the deal." So I'm going to grab it, and we did. And it was just kind of funny. I shot that thing, and it's like, you shoot this one, and it's like, okay, there's a lot of slide out there. And you shoot that 17L, for some reason, even though it's only a tiny bit longer, it feels like it's 2 feet longer. Okay? But this one I was going to play with it, shooting the GSSF matches and everything. And I figured, let's elevate myself into the competition a little
Shameless
bit.
plug. We run a GSSF match up here.
Oh, yeah, we should probably talk about that.
You should come out. We got to talk about that more.
The Glocks Sport Shooting Foundation. It's a good fun match to come out and do.
Shooting sport? Sport shooting?
Sport Shooting Foundation.
Sport shooting?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've read the brochure.
You've read I think it's right there.
Okay. More outtakes. I love it. Well, maybe we'll keep it in there because why not? It's fine. But this
Right.
would be like my number 5 gun. Why? Because I didn't need it for carry. I didn't need it. I did it again. I did it again.
You did it again.
Okay, my
I
number
kept silent
1 gun.
I kept silent that time, guys.
Yeah, my number 1 gun.
Your number 1 out of 5.
Number 1. Here's the thing. I got this because I wanted to just have some fun with it.
Right.
My carry gun, like I said, right now I'm pretty set with that 19 until I find a way that it needs to be made better and more efficient for my carry use.
Gen 7.
Probably. Okay, it'll have an auto loading feature. I think it'll just automatically pull magazines out of your pouch. Glock, take notice. It might be a feature, and I got first credit. But anyways, this one I bought for some fun. But I'll tell you, I really love shooting this gun. Mm-hmm. The slide velocity is good. You put some nice 124 grain 9mm in there, and it runs very well. I've never had this thing not work, even through that minimal break-in period. It just ran right out of the gate.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So I love this gun. If I know there are some law enforcement agencies that this is their carry gun. This is what their duty weapon is, and that's what they're issuing.
That's true.
And and in this configuration with an optic on top and the longer slide, because it gives them better accuracy at distance.
Right.
And the sight gives them better visual acuity. So they're gaining some advantages over even just the stock, iron sighted or Trijicon sighted Glock 17s they're carrying.
Cool.
So yeah, this would be my number 1. Just because of the fun factor to it. If I had to put a number 1 on the carry gun, it would be the Glock I talked about previously.
Glock 19.
The 19, yeah.
Gen 5.
What's yours?
My number 1?
Yeah.
You're going to be shocked. It's a Glock 19.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Here it is.
You're just
Glock
messing
19.
with me.
No, Glock 19.
All right, fine. Oh, at
But
least
I
you
only
got
have
good
one.
taste.
I have only one, and it's in the number one slot.
Rookie.
So, right, 1 of 5. So Glock 19, Gen 5, 9mm compact.
Okay. What's that doohickey on the front?
It's got a little flashlight on the front, you know. So this is the bedside gun.
There you go.
I carried a 23, which is the 40 caliber Glock 19 size gun, and then a Glock 19 for years and years and years.
Right.
You know, a Gen 3 Glock 19, still have it. But when the Gen 5 came out, I bought this, put the dot on it, shot it with the dot. But then when I went to the 43X, that's become pretty much my everyday carry. So this has become more the bedside travel gun, stuff like that.
That's okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so I put the light on it at that point. But yeah, everyone should own a Glock 19. And if there was only one gun, one pistol, I should say, that you were allowed to have, you could only have one, this would be my choice. I'd choose a Glock 19 for sure. Yeah. You'd choose 3 of them, but I'd choose this one.
Well.
So yeah, Glock 19, Gen 5.
2 for each hand and 1 spare.
Gun. There you go. I do especially like the fact it does not have the front serrations.
Yeah.
Finger grooves.
Yeah,
So
when they went through their Gen 3 phase where they had those finger grooves, I didn't like it.
they were okay, but this feels way better.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather get some engagement with that checkering that they've got.
and I've actually come to appreciate the front slide serrations with the red dot.
Yep.
So I can run the gun from the front if I want to and not get my hands on the
You
dot.
can at least get better traction. Even if you go over the top, you can get better traction.
Exactly.
On it. Yeah.
So yeah, I do like this gun a lot. So that is my number one.
Okay, cool.
So I guess it's time to say, what do you think?
Yeah.
Dave with his Glock 34
The 34,
or Matt, I have the Glock 19
close behind
or
it.
19 or 19. So what do you think?
It's kind of tough to choose.
Tell us in the comments. There can only be one.
Yeah, well, maybe. But guys, thank you for tuning in for this.
Thanks a lot.
Please tell us in the comments what your choices would be, and why. Tell us why. Just don't throw it out there. Oh, it's going to be this gun or this gun. Tell us why you chose that gun and why you think it's a good fit for you.
We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
And all right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was a lot of fun.
This was fun.
And who knows what we'll do next, but you'll see it soon.